We are back.
Hi, welcome back to Soul Food. This episode is brought to you by friends and family at Soul. So today, is that good enough? You asked me to make an opening, but yeah.
I love to see Caroline nervous. And yeah, it's fun. How's it been so far, babe? Are you enjoying this?
Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
What's with the tongue for?
But I don't know. It still feel weird actually watching myself in the video.
Right.
Still feel
No, I think
weird.
you're doing very well.
Hearing my own voice.
Yeah, you're doing very well, babe. I enjoy doing this with you. And I like how, we get deeper and deeper in our topic. So today's topic for the conversation is a deeper one as well. Cat, prepare tissues if we need.
It's a hard one.
But I really admire how you handle this. And the conversation today is about losing someone you love.
Mhm.
I don't know how to navigate this.
Mm.
I still feel awkward. I still feel weird today. In texting someone or calling someone. Calling would be even harder. Like, when someone, lose their loved one, whether parents, spouse,
Yeah.
siblings, or even a kid. Oh man, especially a kid. I don't even know what to say, Really, it feels like when you say deepest condolences, like, oh my gosh, I like when I reflecting on myself, like if I am going through something and if I ask myself the question, like I would like, ugh, like, why would you say that? It feels so generic,
Yeah, it is.
And so I think today's conversation, I wanted to ask you, how do you handle it? Like, what would you appreciate?
Mhm.
Because um, both parents are not here anymore.
Yeah.
It was a tough time. First, if you've been following us on Soul Food for a while, you know the story. We Caroline lost her dad
Yeah. So
during our third wedding reception.
mm,
And then Caroline lost her mom during the
Pandemic.
pandemic, and you couldn't go back for the funeral.
Yeah.
It's really painful for you. It was really, really hard, and I am nowhere near. I mean, even though, as a community leader, as a pastor, I have to admit it's hard to console, like for me, one of the best ways is just to be present
Yeah.
with that person. And sometimes don't say anything, just to
Mhm.
be there with them. But in your experience journeying through this, and I want to ask you a bunch of things, babe. Like, how do you handle the grief? Are you still grieving today? What is it like? Because I know Facebook particularly will, pop up the memory of like, this is the year that, Papa left us.
Yeah.
This is the year that Mama left us. So maybe I want to start off with this question. Are you still grieving today?
Uh, yeah.
Hmm.
I am. But my grief looks different year to year.
Right.
And it's like sometimes it's not always on a special day. It's not always on the day of my dad's birthday or my
I
mom's
realize
birthday.
that. Yeah.
It's not always just during Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always on the death anniversary.
Mm-mm.
Actually, it's my dad death anniversary tomorrow, 13th of
Oh,
August,
right.
2015. Yeah, so like what my husband said, my dad passed away on the third day of our reception. So it's actually right
Not
after
third day. Third,
our third
third wedding
reception.
reception. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually 1 month after our matrimony,
Yeah.
right? So we are very newly married couple.
Yeah.
So I really find that both circumstances when I lost my parents are not usual, and I feel it's actually quite sudden for my dad death because when we touched down to Jakarta for that reception,
Yeah.
it wasn't him at the gate, it was my brother.
Yeah.
And then he drove us
I
straight to
remember
the
that.
ICU.
I remember that. Like, Chris was just
Yeah,
quiet,
and he
and he
was
was
like,
putting up a strong front,
yes, he
to make sure that
is.
you
He
are all
was,
right.
yeah.
And he actually wanted to bring us back home first. Wanted to make sure that we get a meal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then sorry, you
But he
wanted.
drove us straight to the hospital, and that's
Mm-mm.
where we saw my dad was actually fighting for his life.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's difficult because that is still our wedding season.
Vibe. The atmosphere is supposed to
Yeah.
be
So why
cheerful.
I say it is hard because it's one of my happiest moment in my life.
Mm-mm.
At the same time, together with with my saddest moment in my life when I
Mm-mm.
lost my dad.
Mm-mm.
So like forever, whenever we think I think about anniversary, I
Mm-mm.
think about him.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So for my mom, it was difficult because it was during pandemic, and it
Mm-mm.
was lockdown. Malaysia was having lockdown. Indonesia
Yeah.
was having lockdown,
Yeah.
and I couldn't go back. I couldn't be there for her. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of guilt
Yeah.
that I actually have to, you know, unfold, and I have to like bring it up,
Yeah.
talk about it, and solve it. So it was like two difficult moment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you ask me, do I still grieving? I do. You know it, like it's not just because of like, oh, tomorrow is the death anniversary of my dad, and then yes, you will see me a little bit gloomier than
Yeah.
usual, but it's also sometimes it's like random,
Yeah.
you know, like.
I find that the random times are more emotional for you than the death anniversary.
Yeah, because the death anniversary, I got time to prepare and I got time to
Mm.
sit and wonder. But sometimes when it's the random one, it just came suddenly, like
Right.
suddenly I thought about them, and suddenly I just like rush with emotion. I cried in front
Mm.
of you,
Mm-mm.
right? Like I was like suddenly, oh, I remember my dad.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we need tissue for this episode. It's so
Right.
yeah. So is I'm still grieving, yeah, but
Right.
the grief looks different with last time. The feeling
Right.
looks different. I feel
Right.
stronger,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
Mm-hmm.
still happening. Yeah.
Right. Right. I've always wondered if will we grieve no more? you know, will we ever stop grieving? And in that pursuit for the answer, I realized we will only stop grieving when we die.
Yeah.
Because the memory that we have of the person, you know, and I don't know if anyone out there feels bad when, the memory triggers them,
Yeah.
and um and so how would you encourage someone, who some maybe it could be I've heard it I've heard people say this before, like, hey, come on, so long ago already,
Yeah. Actually,
get
it's quite
over
long.
it,
My dad was 10 years ago.
right?
Yeah, we've been married for
Remember
10
10 years,
years.
right?
Yes. My mom
And
is 4
I
years ago.
I'm so glad that I don't know where I learned it from, or I caught it from someone, like a conversation I had with somebody, and it's like, never ever say, like, it's been too long, don't ever think about it
Yeah.
anymore. Like, and so that was like a valuable lesson for me. And I'm glad that I will use the word never brought it up, with you. And I know that whenever it hits you, you need that space. And I don't know if it's the right word to say, I celebrate that moment with you.
Mm.
I also want to cry with you. And sometimes it's very, very hard, but I always want to
Mm.
cry with you together. Like, yeah, actually, Papa was a great man.
Yeah.
And I think just last night we were talking about
Mm.
him, and how he is this gel in the
Family.
is it right to say
Extended
extended
family.
family, right? And it's always him, and I really admire how um, even though we dated for about 5 years, and in that 5 years I've met Papa a couple of times in that process, and seen some of your the ups and downs in your family, and see how Papa navigate through that, and how he forgive, how he I don't know if he forget or not lah, right? But I know you don't like smoking, babe, but your dad smokes. I I've seen how he share his his grievance. He's upset with this uncle or this auntie. But come Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he and the uncles are all sharing a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
Not sharing one cigarette, but like, that moment, right, they have together. And they might not be talking. And so these are things I observe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then your dad is a great joker. Like, he's like one of those like jokers, right? That would, not purposely make you laugh on. Like, he's like a one-liner joker.
Yeah.
Like suddenly he says something that everybody would laugh.
Yeah.
He knows those moments. And these are some of my great memories of him. So like, what are some of the, memories today
Mm-hmm.
or things that you observe today that boop, hits you back and like, oh, I miss Papa, I miss Mama kind of thing?
A lot of time is when actually I see your dad hanging out with our kids.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I will imagine that my dad will hang out with them.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes also when I see like other dads sitting with their daughter.
Mm.
Um, yeah, a lot of moments. Or I don't know, sometimes also when we have field trip, when we are driving long distance, because my dad like to drive long distance,
Mm-hmm.
and then our family will do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of time is that. A lot of time is when we see our kids. And then now, right, the more I see our son, I look the resemblance of my dad in him.
Mm-hmm.
He smile.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, wow, I'm just happy that there's a piece of my dad
Mm.
that I'm gonna cry.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, so
Tissues,
I need tissue.
please.
Thank you.
Right.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry, babe. Don't be sorry.
Yeah.
I think this is the purpose of this episode. Like, I really want to dig deep into this because I think grieving is a very powerful emotion.
If you ask me this question tomorrow, maybe I'll be better. So this is the things that I actually cycle that I go through, because I usually prepare myself for the death anniversary.
Mm.
So because I know when the death anniversary, if I open Facebook, I have a lot of memory, right?
Yeah.
And then I will start also, the moment I see the dates, there's a lot of memory rush in. So usually I prepare days before.
Mm-mm.
So
And why do you prepare? Like, why you don't want
uh,
to be in an emotional wreck, or like you feel it's just overwhelming? Like, why do you have to prepare yourself?
so it's not like, so the feeling and the emotion don't come rush like a flash flood.
Mm-mm.
So I know that the emotion will be there. So I'll be more prepared. I know what to
Mm-mm.
tell myself. I know how to breathe.
Also,
Yeah.
instead of
So
or instead
because
of like allowing it to be like a flash flood kind of
yeah,
thing.
because like if that happen, it's going to affect you. It's going to affect the kids. It's going to affect my
Mm-mm.
work. It's going to affect other things, like, because when you lose someone, life continue on.
Yeah.
Life goes on. And the world won't stop for you.
Mm.
And you still have to,
Right.
do something. You still need to do it. But emotion actually can, for me, right? I'm someone who is very emotional. Sometimes emotion can cripple me.
Mm.
Emotion can just stop me and limit me to do something. So I don't want that to happen. I allow myself to grieve, definitely. I don't
Right.
stop it, but I prepare for it.
Mm-mm.
Because now it's like 10 years
Yeah.
from when it happened, so I'm actually more prepared. If you ask me how I healed, if you lost someone, maybe not just because of death, maybe you lost someone because of distance, you lost a friendship or whatever,
Mm-mm.
you are grieving over that.
Mm-mm.
What you can do is not to rush it.
Right.
At the beginning, I wasn't like this. I wasn't this prepared. That sometimes you see me that suddenly whole day I just gloomy,
Mm-hmm.
just dark. Just like
Mm-mm.
quiet. Just don't talk to anyone. Just
Yeah.
don't do anything. Was it like 1 year or so that I took off from work for just that day itself, because I know that it's going to cripple me that much. But what you can do, right, to help you heal is not to rush it.
Mm.
Not to rush the process of healing, to move
Right.
on, to forget it.
Mm-mm.
Because it's grieving is not about moving on
Yeah.
to It's about
Yeah, that's so good.
grieving
Say it
is
again. Yeah,
grieving is
grieving is not
about
about moving on, man. Yeah.
actually learn to live your life with a new reality.
Mm.
Learn to live your life with a new um you know
Yeah.
it's just a new thing. It's
Yep.
just, yeah, it's not really like, oh, you have to forget it, it's the next day already.
Mm.
No, but it's learn to live in a way that it keeps you going. That's why I said just now, i
Yeah.
i prepare myself so then I can keep
One
going.
of the things that I really admire about you is this composure that you have. And this, like you talk about this preparation, it's not something that I don't know, right? And but in that composure, you and I know it's a hint for me. Today's Mama's anniversary. Click. I know already. Like, okay, um, I know that it's going to be emotionally heavy for you.
Mhm.
I know that it's going to affect you to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And I'm prepared. I'm ready for myself. Honestly, babe, is this something you do intentionally? Like,
For
like you tell me, like, hey, you know what? I'm thinking about Mama today, so that you preempt me about what's happening ahead, because it's helping me.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's good. It's helping. No, I didn't intentionally do that to you,
Okay.
but it's more like because you're my trench buddy.
Yeah.
So it's more like me actually borrowing your strength.
Oh wow! I never saw it that way.
Yeah. So for me, it's like telling you, um, how to say it? Yeah. Telling you is a way that I'm coping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Regulating your emotions.
Yeah, because most of the time I don't tell anyone. I won't like hang out with
Yeah.
Kat and tell Kat it's my dad's anniversary. I wouldn't say that.
Yes. Yes.
But with you, I say,
Yeah.
And sometimes if it's like too overwhelming or if you are not around, I'll write it in my journal. So that's my second trench buddy.
Your journal. Yes.
Yeah. So definitely I will pray,
Yeah.
because I know the day will be harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
I,
the
I
way
just
of
want.
me borrowing your strength. But I don't expect you to understand me because today's gonna be gloomy. No, it's not.
I find that very helpful for me. I mean, we've not talked about it, on this particular matter. But what fascinates me is, this thing that you have about, and it's a preparation for me. So every time when you say it, I'm like, oh, okay, there's going to be a flood of emotions coming through,
Yeah.
and it's not like here comes Caroline again. No,
But
no,
on
no,
the
no.
day itself, you will see me better. You will see me tomorrow. Yeah, you don't see me like this bad.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, you know,
the
babe,
the
I've
worst
not.
thing is like you said when it came in randomly because I couldn't prepare.
Yeah,
And just
yeah,
the thought suddenly came in and it's
right,
affecting my emotion.
yeah,
And all the memory rush in.
yeah.
That's the thing that is hard.
One thing that I think I don't know if it's right to say you do well, is you know how to regulate your emotions. In the context of, because I know there are some people who, when they're overwhelmed by the emotion, they just have to break down.
Mhm.
And I'm also learning to, like, okay, that's you. That's what you need to go through. Maybe younger DK will be like, oh man, day is ruined, or some might even say that, hey, DK, why you have such a selfish, perspective towards this. I I'm learning, getting better, but I think with you, I just want to say thank you, for always. It feels like a heads up, and now that hearing you, yeah, thank you even more. Like, you didn't even do it as a heads up. It's more of like, you want to borrow my strength. I never thought, I don't know what strength to share with you as well, because what I told you before, and some of our friends who have lost someone they love is like, hey man, um, the day will come where I need to borrow your strength,
Yeah.
because when I start losing my loved ones, I don't know what to do,
Yeah.
and because reading about it, studying about it, like I love this quote from C.S. Lewis, and I'm paraphrasing it. It's talking about how grief is a journey,
Yeah.
and every corner is like, a bend. There's a bend in the road, and that's how grief is like. But you're still on a journey.
Yep.
And every bend is going to be an emotional moment and an impact.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I read about it.
Yeah.
I love the quote, but I've never experienced it, you
Yeah.
know? And so that's why I guess this conversation today is to really help me and, and some of the listeners out there, how do we, and moving on to the next part of my questions would be like, how do I help someone? What would be the right thing to say? So what would you appreciate, looking back now on your journey,
Yep.
what would you appreciate some things that people say to you? And what are some of the things that, let's be honest, like you didn't like it at all? Let's go.
Actually, one I didn't like, I actually mentioned before in another episode when we talk about dealing
Really?
with loss. Yeah. But if when it just happened, um, nothing helps. Deepest condolences sounds very generic, like you said. Whatever people say is just, I don't know, it's just like, oh, of course, people will say that, Nothing much, really. Like nothing much. No matter you ask ChatGPT or Gemini to craft the most heartfelt message for my
Right.
friend who just lost his parents, nothing much really.
Right.
Like it was just a word, it was just prayer. I mean, I'm grateful. We will definitely be grateful for those. But it doesn't affect much because the grief we have to go through it. It is still there. We can't shake it off that fast, that much. Most of the time we look okay because we have to settle things and we have to be strong at that moment.
Yeah.
So most of the time, no, it doesn't help much. So most of the time, I will still send, like if my friends is grieving, I have someone who lost their loved one, and then I will definitely still text,
Yeah.
call them. Maybe not helping because they would usually they don't want you to hear them crying on
They
the
also
phone.
don't know what to say. You also don't know what to say, right?
Yeah. Most of the time, the best thing we can say is we are okay. Like what do you expect to hear? No, I'm not okay. Then like 1 hour of
Yeah.
crying. No, you most of the time they will say I'm okay, and then like I will just text. I will definitely be texting to just show them that we are here. So it's just like hey, I'm so sorry for your loss. Just hugs. Most of the time, I'm just like
Yeah.
simple words like that. I don't even offer anything because offering anything also, if I'm the person who lost someone, I don't even know how to ask help from you. It's very hard for me. It's just like be there,
Right.
appeared. Like I remember being grateful for people who actually show up that time, in the hospital.
Also means physically show up.
Yes, the
Right.
hospital. And I remember them not expecting me to in return, like to accompany them, to talk to them, though I really have that desire to, but that I can't, just be there. Then and they don't like violate the boundaries, like they just like, then they don't cross the line. They just like, oh, if they know already that they have to leave, they leave. But that that suddenly they appear, oh okay, they are here.
Right.
I have some friends who actually like, oh, suddenly appear. It just felt warm in my heart.
Right.
Yeah.
So the act of actually being present with someone is powerful.
Yes.
Right. But was there
And
like, I'm curious.
don't if don't have the pressure to actually say something.
That's my next question actually. Well, is there something you remember?
If you want to help, you just do it. I remember one of our friends, our good friends, right?
Yeah.
She actually showed up because we were so busy in KL. She helped us pay first for all our bills in KL. I mean, we were busy in Jakarta.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And I remember when we come back also, our bed was well made. Your sister actually made the bed when we
Yeah.
come back and everything.
Yeah.
And this kind of act that, like we don't ask, we don't expect, and you don't make us feel bad, for you doing that. There's the things that helps. Yeah.
Yeah. Action speaks louder than words. Definitely.
Yeah,
This is one of
don't have
things.
the pressure to say anything.
Right.
What should I say? I
But
don't even
just
know what
curious,
to say.
was there a text that you appreciate, or like the words
remember.
that you use? Right.
Don't remember.
when you were at the early stage of that grieving, I find it very difficult to console you.
Mhm.
You know, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. Um, but do you remember what was one thing that I did that really helped you?
At a point of time,
Yeah.
your presence, you be there.
Mm.
Actually, not just then, like now, whenever I told you, because I told you you are my trench buddy, right? So
Mm-mm.
I told you that, babe, today is Papa's death anniversary.
Mm-mm.
It's more like I said, I'm borrowing your strength
Mm-mm.
because I know that they are also, because you love me.
Mm.
So when I'm grieving, you're also grieving. So
Mm.
I know that I am taking you together in my trench.
Right.
Like, I'm not alone in this.
Right.
You
Right.
are
Right.
in this together with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the reason I ask this is because I'm thinking about the boyfriends, the girlfriends, the husband, the wives,
Mhm.
that have to be in my position to,
Mm.
console their loved ones. And like I said, I am, you know, um, grateful to have someone like you,
Mm.
who know how to regulate your emotions pretty well. But I've heard of stories and people who, and I don't think it's a bad thing that, I mean, how do you ever like when it happened that moment, how do you handle the weight of the emotion? So some people just break down,
Mm.
like really bad, like they lie down on the floor, and they wail and they
Didn't I have that
cry.
moment
No, not really, and
in the
so
hospital?
and so here's the thing. um I was okay with that, but because I've seen some people who like wail and cry on the floor, and then like you see family members like, hey, enough already,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And I wonder if that is hurtful,
Mm.
because like this is what I'm really feeling. And so like when I use the word, and please, for those of you who are counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists, maybe there's a better term for this. But in my limited knowledge, what I see is that you knew how to regulate your emotions. So like what I mean by regulate is, I remember when, I'm so sorry, I'm going to go step into something that is going to be pretty emotional. I remember when the doctor tried to revive Papa, and they announced that, so sorry, this is it. Come and say your goodbyes and everything. And I remember you wailed and you cried and all. And I was actually impacted by that process, because for me, I felt that you were regulating your emotions, like you let it all out. So that was one. The second one was when they were closing the coffin, and I saw you just screaming out,
Mm.
Papa, and I didn't felt like, oh my gosh, Caroline is too loud or anything. Like I just felt that you regulated very well, you know. But I've heard of stories of how some people, when they were wailing, and the next thing you know, their spouse or someone they love, like, okay, shh, shh, shh,
Don't cry
don't
already.
cry, enough already. Like, whoa, that's hard. How you encourage someone who went through that, when they were trying to regulate their emotion, and someone like, enough, you know?
Yeah, I remember when I lost my mom, it was through the phone. Remember or not?
Mm-hmm.
My phone was spoiled, so I don't have phone with me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to the gym. Remember or not?
Mm-hmm.
My brother is trying to reach me,
Yeah.
but he couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was like one day before lockdown. Remember? Just one day. The next day it was lockdown. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I was in the gym. Then I opened the door and then you told me that Mama passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when you took all the kids with you to the room and you asked me to go to the other room. You give me
Mm-hmm.
space to cry, to wail. Right. So I always think, right, that uh that part of grieving, when you are allowed to cry, when you allowed to breathe, to just be on that space, right, is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, that is the things that we have to go through. It's like breathing, it's like the the CO2 have to come out.
Hmm.
So grieving is like that.
Hmm.
There has to be an outlet. There has to be a space for you to be able to exhale and
Right.
inhale and exhale.
Mhm.
Inhale strength, inhale memory, and then you have to exhale. Because if you only inhale and keep it in,
Ooh.
it will burst.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people they couldn't take it.
Right.
They go through like mental, struggle. They go through a lot of things. Like I remember seeing this story of a family in Bandung who actually committed suicide after their mom passed away.
Hmm.
You know, and then I know it's like based on certain tradition, you're not allowed to cry. There's
Hmm.
some tradition actually not allow you to cry off after certain period when you are grieving. But I thank God that my family is not really that traditional or bound by certain tradition that we can actually grieve in a way that it help us to
Hmm.
go on.
Mhm.
So I don't know, like if you are in certain tradition like that, I have nothing to say for you. Really,
Yeah.
I don't know. But that space of you to exhale,
Mm.
that's really crucial
Right.
for you to go on, for you to move
Move forward,
forwards.
right?
So I'm actually grateful that you actually gave me that space that time
Mhm.
when I lost my
Mm-mm-mm.
mom. And when I lost my dad was a little bit harder. I remember you have a certain way of coping with your own because you're grieving too. You
Mhm.
see me sad, you're also grieving, you're also sad.
I think that
And
time I was like, man, we were newly married, and for me, immature, still learning to be a husband. I wanted to solve everything.
yeah,
Just I went into a full man mode. I remember, and I'm so sorry, babe, for that time.
yeah,
Thank you for forgiving me. But I remember the time I just went into a man mode. I wanted to solve. I wanted you to be happy.
yeah,
So I was just like do whatever I
ever,
can to make you.
yeah,
But then whenever I do whatever I can to make you happy,
yeah,
it seemed to go against the
yeah.
grain.
No, I know the intention. I know the
Yeah,
intention. I know you're trying so hard. I know you want to be there for me, but honestly, didn't really help, and it was
yeah.
really tough
And so I
actually.
learned from that. I remember I
Yeah,
learned from that.
but of course, I mean, like it's not a big thing
Yeah.
because at that point of time I am more there are a lot of other things that is more, so I'm not focusing on that disappointment. No, upsetness,
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
wasn't focused on that. But if I look back, I was like I was quite upset actually, and
Mm.
I actually it didn't help.
Yeah.
But thank God, like
And
we went through it.
I'm glad that you talked to me about it.
Yeah, and
You
you
know.
you did so much better when I lost my
Yeah. So
mom.
I remember when we lost mama, I knew that you needed space.
Yeah.
And so I think right, I remember I took the kids and went to Papa's house. Like my
No, you
dad's
were in the
house.
room
Oh, their
actually.
room? I
Yeah.
can't remember. I
No,
remember
that's the thing. If you go Papa's house, I'll be sad because you're not at home. No, you didn't go anywhere. You were
right.
there. You are present there, but you took the kids away because the kids were shocked seeing me crying.
Yeah.
Kyle was still quite small.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's still breastfeeding. If I
Yeah, yeah,
remember,
yeah. Very,
he's
very
still very
young.
sticky to me. And then you took him away. You took Ayla with you, and then you explained to them.
Mm-mm.
Like you actually leave the explaining to you
Mm.
because it'll be so hard for me to explain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they wouldn't understand yet, but you took them, and then you're like, go and call your brother. That's what
Mm-mm.
you say, but I know you are giving me space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think I also learned over the years is that different people grieve very differently.
yep,
Some people would just want people around them, and I think it's so important to recognize, like, okay, if this person is grieving, what this person needs.
yeah. It's so funny for me because it's like I want space, but I want people around me. So I know
Yeah.
it's like very funny, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I want space.
And I think that in itself, I think a lot of people also go through that because there are moments where they just want to be alone, but
Yeah,
there are moments where they also want people around them.
yeah,
And I think for us, as lovers, partners, siblings who we see someone grieving, I think it's really learning to be sensitive
yeah,
to like, okay, this person is going through
mm,
this. Okay, what is it like?
yeah,
Okay, I'm going to be present. Oh, oh, I realize,
Yeah.
oh, this person want to be alone. Okay, never mind. You want to be alone?
Yeah.
Oh, you need someone? Okay, I'm gonna be there. You know, it's never a linear approach
Yeah.
to this. You know, and I think there is this proactive approach of like,
Exactly.
okay, what this person needs at the time, and I just want to say thank you, babe, for
Yeah.
allowing me to make the mistake
Yeah.
and to be better at this.
Because you asked me just now, like, what I don't like, right? Like,
Yeah.
what didn't help.
Mm-mm.
What didn't help is when we lost Papa, you kind of rush to make me feel better.
Yeah.
But I know your intention. I know you want. Most of the time, I know people's intention is good. That's
Mm.
one. Second is when I lost my mom. There's someone who actually hang out, and then I know the intention is to make me feel better, and this person loved me, and then want to see me smile again. And this person told me that, when I lost my grandma, I do this, and it helps me.
Mm-mm-mm.
And that I know the intention is so good. I'm so grateful, but it didn't help.
Mm.
I was like, why are you comparing the way you lost and the way you cope and what
Mm.
helps you with what helps me? Because
Oh.
I felt that, I don't know, I felt that, okay, yeah, you can do better. Maybe I'm not.
Mm.
You can do that. It works for you. Maybe I didn't.
Right.
So I felt rushed also when that person said that to me.
Mm.
Yeah, but I know this person don't intend at all.
Right.
Like, I feel bad for saying it, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, the intention of this conversation is, to
To
help
educate,
someone. Yeah.
to also learn, how can we approach this better?
Yeah.
Because I think we talk so much about culture, we talk so much about relationships, and these are the things that make or break a relationship.
Yeah.
There'll be some people who are just so insensitive.
Yeah.
Echoing what you said, right? I really believe right? I really believe, especially when it comes to losing someone you love, the people that try to console you, their intentions are always good.
Yeah.
I mean, I have personally not met someone who is evil. Like, okay,
I want to make you feel
I want to
worse.
make you feel worse. Like, maybe I don't know. Maybe some of you experienced that before. That would be another topic altogether,
Yeah.
because that wouldn't be. I don't know. That would be an evil person you have to deal with, right?
Yeah.
But I think the context of this, majority, right? Most of the time, people actually have good intention. I've seen and heard stories of, like, when someone is grieving, they've got like brothers coming, bringing alcohol into the space. But is alcohol and grieving the best combination in that moment? Oh my
I
gosh!
feel that it's just numbing the
Right?
pain.
But
But
again,
the pain we have to go
it's a good
through.
intention,
Yeah.
Friends coming in, families coming in, good intention. Like, bro, don't worry, drink your sorrows away, and I thought that happened in movies, and I've witnessed it for myself. Like, hey, and I was like, hey, bro, chill lah. Give this guy some space, If he wants to drink, he will drink, Don't have to like force and all of it. But one of the things that I've learned, over the years, and thank you for also acknowledging it, what you share, is just to be present with that person.
Yeah.
And sometimes just nothing to say, just like, I'm sitting down there
Yeah.
after the funeral. I'm
Yeah.
just sitting down there.
I also have a mixed feeling with people who say, "Oh, he is in a better place.
Oh,
She's in a better place." That's why now, like, whenever I see someone grieving, I just don't say it. I just be there. I just like, I'm so sorry. I just like hug. Maybe I will say one word or two words.
Yeah.
She's so dear to me.
I'm sure
To
if you
say
go
like
on
that, "Oh, he's so
ChatGPT,
dear to me."
or go on ChatGPT and ask like things not to say at funerals, or like a friend who is grieving, this would be like number one.
Is there any?
Like,
Let's check.
he is in a better place.
That's interesting.
Right? I've not experienced losing someone that I love
What not
right,
to
with
say?
the intensity. But I think another word would be like, don't worry, you'll get better.
Yeah. Time will heal.
Time will heal. Oh, okay. So what did ChatGPT say?
It's so interesting, right?
Yeah.
If only we have a laptop then straight away.
Yeah. So what not to say?
Avoid cliches or platitudes. See, they are in a better place now. Yeah, I have a mixed feeling today. That's why I don't say it to people. I don't know. I just felt that Yeah, I know you're trying so hard to make me feel better. I know that. I will just tell myself, I know you. Because I know that person is in a better place. But now I am grieving that I don't have this person beside me anymore.
Yes,
You get what I mean
yes,
or not? Like
yes,
I am
yes.
grieving for that. I'm not grieving for this person is already in a better place. Oh, why this person is in a better place? No, it's more like why this person is not beside me anymore.
Yes, correct.
Why I can't text my dad anymore? Why like
Mm,
nobody
mm,
will
mm,
call me all in randomly anymore? Things like that.
mm.
Yeah. So it can why it is bad? Because it can feel like you are brushing past their current pain. See, that's what I
Mm,
mean.
mm, mm.
Actually, I never see this in writing or anywhere that it is actually not really. But I have a mixed feeling for that.
Yeah.
That's why I never said it. I just don't.
I'm trying to recall if I have said it, but I hope
God
I
needed
didn't.
another angel. Oh,
Oh
very
man,
cliche.
that's cringe, man.
Oh,
Oh.
then this word. At least they live a long life. At
Oh,
least, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
At least they are not suffering anymore.
That's why, when it comes to, losing someone that you love, or losing anyone, right? The best thing is not to say anything at all.
Exactly. Isn't it? Avoid comparison or one-upping grief. I know exactly how you feel. When my someone died, this is what I experienced that time.
Yeah.
Right.
You try to resonate with that person.
Yeah, but it sounds like you are one-upping.
Upping.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in that process.
Like you said just now, you'll feel better soon. Time heals all wounds.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think we want to be careful. We want to be cautious,
Yeah.
about what we say and all. But thanks again, babe, for having this conversation, because I know it's hard for you. But at the same time, I want to say that you have been stronger.
Yep.
You are stronger. I see how you regulate your emotions. I see how you prepare us. And today I have learned that you're borrowing our strength at times. And yeah, and this conversation today is a big lesson for me, to know that grieving never ends until the day you're not on this earth anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, for those of you listening today, if you are struggling with this, you are just one. We are. See, these are the part is when emotional, right? My grammar just messed up. It's just one DM away.
Yeah.
One email away. And yeah, in this ends up on any social media platforms. Yeah, feel free to drop in a comment words that actually we can use. Because I'm learning. I want to know, like,
Yeah, words that you cannot use.
no, I actually want to know, like, words that you can use.
Okay.
Because after all, you want to encourage that person, right? What if my friend is far away in UK or America? What do I even say, right? So, guys, if you know what to say, share with us. We would like to learn it.
Yep.
That's all we have for this episode.